my gosh, I feel like it has been forever since I have been on here. I know it's been about a week, maybe a little over that. If you are joining me for the first time, I am Tamara Jean, the Awakening Mentor and Wellness Astrologer here on High Vibe TV. I know that everyone is feeling this energy, and it just unfolds as it unfolds. But I am so glad it have been, those of you that have been watching me for a long time, I've been going through some processes, and some of them have been expressed in the physical, my physical body. So I'm happy to be back, and especially with this full moon in Leo that we have, that is peaking at, what is it, 5:53 a.m. Pacific time. And I have this for you today with this energy. And this is Simply Hypnotic on YouTube. And it is, I felt, a perfect expression of this energy and what I have been seeing in the energy. A lot of the consciousness of water that has really been streaming in these last couple of weeks and is supporting this like cleansing process that we're going through, and transformation and a reconnection, right? Because water, as it cleanses, it's also a conductor, right? And running through and also transforms, right? It's a very powerful element. And we have, so there's water here, and then with this beautiful violet moving flame, and so much energy with this full moon in Leo, really illuminating a lot of things and assisting in the release or the cleansing of, and moving into healing and transformation. And I feel with all of the astrological transits, oh my gosh, I'm having trouble speaking. I'm still processing, going through my experience, but I'm about halfway through and kind of coming out the other side of it, pertaining to a couple of things. And but one thing that has been in process of clearing is definitely my speaking channel, and like it was coming out physically. It's such a fascinating process, right? And experience that we have here in this reality of really being able to experience the formless coming into, right, through our form and all of its different aspects. And being that in the current human design transit that we have the sun still in gate 49, in the gate of revolution. So perfect, right? With it being in Aquarius, and it is in the emotion center. We have a lot in the emotion center right now in the current human design transit. So if you are like really feeling things in different, whether it's different areas in your body, the emotional spectrum, different areas of your life, making all these connections, and we can get really emotional, and that can be, I would say, heightened or sensitive with the emotions, with so much planetary energy in that center in human design, but it's grounded, as the earth is grounded in gate 4 in the mind of mental solutions. And so what we really have to the patterns that are being broken up. And I like how it's like we have clouds here. So we have the violet flame, which we know is a wonderful tool in really burning up and transforming things that are no longer serving us, or perhaps aren't even ours, right? We're getting into those very deep layers of what would be, patterns that we had created ourselves. Seeing a lot connected to the saboteur archetype that does reside in the solar plexus, and this may come out and be more illuminated for you as the moon continues to wane now over the next 2 weeks, as the sun, it shifts into a new gate in the current human design transit, which I'll touch on. But this coming up through the levels of awareness and breaking through, that there's a lot of, I would say groundbreaking ideas, but also with these patterns, we're having to navigate between our pattern of really leading with the mind and the emotions being secondary, right, for a lot of people that have operated like that for so long. And we can get into our head about, especially with the sun being in gate 49, which is about being driven by the need to get it right, and get life right. And so it's helping with that revolution energy, and of course the sun being in Aquarius, helping to break free from those old established patterns. That's what I really liked about the sky, because I kept seeing, with all of the transits that we have, right? The sun conjuncting with Mercury and squaring Uranus. And then the moon is going to oppose Mercury. And so everything that we have, right? All of the planetary body support and energy, I just kept seeing, and this will be over the next, while as the moon continues to wane and we go through this process, but the transits over the next, and then as the moon moves into Virgo in the evening on Wednesday evening, and for the next couple of days after that, that there was this almost like a hardened shell, and like it was over the vision. And especially seeing with the transits that we have while Mercury's moving into Pisces on, let's see, what day was that? Perhaps it was, is it Thursday, Friday? And that it's cracking. And then I kept seeing like chunks, right, are falling off. Or even is everything from how paint, old paint. And it reminds me of what I'm seeing now is an old school, and the concrete walls, and that the paint is old and it's cracking, and there's some areas where the paint is flaking off, right? And so chunks of the paint are missing, and then some areas where a lot has fallen off, but it's still very, and it's a new texture, but it's rough. And I feel like that's kind of a perfect way to describe, right, the process that is happening. So we've got the sun conjunct with Mercury, right, both in Aquarius, and it's really illuminating our processes. And now Mercury is in gate 30 of desires, also in the emotions center. And this is where the sun is going to move. In a couple of days, it's going to move into this same gate as Mercury, right? So it's really going to be illuminated, and we need to, and right then the sun is going to square Uranus. that's in the throat center, in gate 23, which one of the gifts of that gate is where, when you are expressing, it is to initiate perhaps a new perspective. And and then the moon, right, is going to oppose Mercury. So there's going to be, we'll have kind of the friction between like our mind and our emotions and like what we want and what is good, right, the benefit of everyone, and like, and collectively. And there's, right, this kind of push and pull with individuality and the collective, and really finding a way, right, for all of us to work together. And this will then be in our own individual realities, right, within our own navigating our relationships and what we want. And then, you know, that there is like what is working, right, in your own reality and your own circle of life. And we need to be receptive, and this is important with gate 30 of desires, is letting go of expectations, right? Because when we have expectations, often leads to disappointment, right? Being receptive and open to what you feel. And this is kind of where the work is between the heart and the mind. This is going to be areas of focus and work as we move through these energies and these transits. And as the moon enters into Virgo Wednesday evening, so I said it will, it will begin to square Jupiter. And I feel like that's continuing the energy of like asking ourselves these questions to gain clarity, gain emotional clarity, to be able to come to a place where you are making clear, conscious choices, right, that are aligned, that are in genuine alignment with your nature, which when the sun and earth change gates on Thursday, that on the 13th, I feel this is when, so the sun will join Mercury in that gate of desires. And this too corresponds, since it's the emotion center, it corresponds to our solar plexus, which we do connect that to a lot of our own energy, our own power, also our divine will. And right, getting into alignment, right, corresponds with the sun. And like our soul, our soul does, the seat of our soul in our heart center, but we feel a lot, like, especially like we follow our gut, right? And really listening to, right, the gut brain. And, this can further connect into the energy of the nodes, with the North Node Pisces, of course, still conjunct Neptune, and South Node in Virgo. All of both of those energies, residing in that whole, in the solar plexus area, into the GI and the digestion and the immunity that resides also, right, the gastroimmunity. And so we are really, the earth is going to move into gate 29 of commitment. And we don't want to, because we may have like, okay, our desires are really going to be lit up, and it's not being like the yes man and saying yes to every single thing that like tickles your fancy. It's you not to make a decision when the emotions are high. It's kind of like when, especially for those that are an emotional authority in their human design, right? You have to ride the emotional wave and come back to a center point. I kind of feel like we're all, because there is so much that is happening, it's wise to come back to your center point, especially as, like I used the metaphor of the old school, right? Because it is like the old earth, right? We a lot have heard the term that earth is a school, right? And then we came here to learn, and currently of like the earth splitting, right? So there's the old earth and the new earth. Talked a lot about in Dolores Cannon's work, and how, right, the old structures versus new, right? I could go on and on. Point being, right, how it is all coming through. We're breaking through, and I feel it's truly, we are coming into a place where we will, it is being able to see your own vision. Yes, on Friday, Mercury moves into Pisces. And the moon will oppose, right, Saturn and trine Uranus. And that's what I feel like really further impacts this breaking up of the old and being able to see your own vision in your own unique creativity, in your own way of perceiving, and all of the planetary body support, and just all of the energies that are in our field, right? We still have a lot going on with the sun, right? A lot of frequencies coming into the field. And like I said, this, the consciousness of the water element that seems to be really taking or being a big contributor right now energetically into our experience. I know that, right, there's a lot happening physically, right? We've heard about the in the sea, right, of Santorini, right? There's so much, and I just keep hearing like tremors, and I feel that this is going to be a continued theme throughout the year. And as I tune into the body, I'm seeing the the whole nervous system and the fascia lit up in blue. And so to use both the blue ray, that's very soothing and calming, because with, still being in Aquarius season, we have the water element coming in, whether it's physically or energetically, and that there is a lot happening in our energy body, right, our spiritual body, that there's a lot of, I'm hearing like conductivity. So with the electricity of the Aquarian energy, and being the water bearer, that connection makes sense. In the consciousness of the water, so like water and electricity. So you may feel sometimes that you're like buzzing, right? Or even I would say vibrating from the inside, or you have waves of your nervous system being overwhelmed, right? Or things are coming up because we hold a lot of trauma and, so much other than memories being held in the cells, it's also held in our fascia. and our fascia is very innervated. So that's where you may be experiencing it. And right, our fascia runs through everywhere. So it may be different areas of your body that you can be experiencing things that are being brought to your attention. And using the blue is very like soothing and calming. Of course, you can use the violet flame, right, in transmutation of things. And especially being like the moon in, as far as full moon goes, being in Leo, that is fire. You writing things down that you're releasing, you know, doing like a fire ritual and burning the paper, and that literally physically transforming, right? And I always see it as like the smoke going up to spirit is in transforming it. And then I always bury the ashes in the earth, so that there's like an ether, right, spirit component, energetic component, and the physical component, really like completing the whole thing. And we'll continue, I feel, to go through this experience as the moon wanes. Let's see what oils will be. Oh, I love it when they just jump out. We have lemon, which is the oil of focus, and it is a powerful mental body cleanser. So this will be perfect for these energies that we have, especially when the sun joins Mercury. And as far as human design, of course, it's already conjunct Mercury. So, right, so much illumination of the mental body. So this is a powerful mental body cleanser and gaining clarity so that you can focus on what you are feeling, right, and coming to that 0 point. Let's see what is going to work with lemon here. Arbor Vitae, right? Oil of divine flow. So helping to stay in the flow. This feels perfect in that mind and heart, like balance and harmony, staying in flow with your divine knowing and that intuition and keeping it clear, right? And with the wisdom that resides within. That's exactly how I heard it. And let's see, I've got the Akashic Tarot. It's one of my absolute favorite decks. Let's see what message we can have in regards to this full moon energy over the next few days. The Architect, right? So what we are building and who are we building it with, right? And we're releasing, because it feels like new tools, new things for us to work with. And like a lot is coming through that is, you know, creating something new. We're building a new school. And we quite literally need that, don't we? Ooh, the Queen of Forces, right? So coming into, this is a powerful time for you to come into your power in releasing of, you know, especially if you start connecting with the saboteur and seeing like how it has contained you and restrained you, been holding you back. Of course, in purpose, typically what I see when I work with people is it's a form of protecting oneself, like, right, self-sabotage, that the deeper reason of that pattern existing ultimately is for like own self-preservation or protection. And right, but it's falsely created. It's a distorted pattern. And so getting through, of course, all the layers and to that, so you're changing the code that ultimately it was established in, blueprinted in. And in acknowledging all of that, and as you are, right, doing your work, is getting more connected into your power. And you can see that the Queen of Forces, she's standing on water. So, and here we are with the water here, right? And that is very symbolic too of, right, a spiritual foundation, creating your divine foundation, balancing the light and dark within you, the masculine and the feminine within you, and really embodying, right? We have all of the elements here, embodying all of that, and in an aligned way. It's a very, very, so much power and magic, I feel, with this full moon. And chess game. This one's been coming out quite a bit. I feel like in these last few videos, right? And it's all about like continuing to detach from drama, right? So sometimes we have to kind of remove ourselves from a situation so we can gain that mental and emotional clarity. And you know, what is, to discover what is indeed aligned for you. And then spring, right? And then that will, in gaining that clarity, then that inspiration, right, will be coming online. Also, I did get the other day that something is going to happen in the spring. And this was outside of like the astrological transits that I know that are taking place, right, in the eclipse and everything in the spring, but something. And I feel like it's, you know, it's different. That something is something for whatever's going on for you. So it'll be different for everyone. But there is quite I'm hearing like an initiatory process. There's something with the spring, and there's of course real movement, you know, with everything, all the energy that we do have. But this massive release and gaining clarity and really stepping into your divine foundation is going to be huge in connecting with your power. And that is really what I work with and help people with. And so if you are curious about working with me, I like to work one-on-one with people. So I have 2 programs, and I'll go ahead and put the link below. If you are curious or have any questions, you can go to my website and check out my mentorships. I have Divine Diamond and Divine Mastery. And so, or you can always email me too if you have questions in pertaining to that and working with me. So I hope you all have a magical and powerful full moon. Really maximize this energy for yourself. And I will be back here on Friday.